Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the How's Your Touch podcast, covering all things Scottish women's football. I'm your host, Peter, as always, and joined by Matt. How have you been, Matt? Couple weeks off? Feeling refreshed?
Yeah. I've got a massive spot. I don't know if you can really see it. I'm wearing a pimple patch, but like right in between my eyes. So anyone watching, don't look at me.
Yeah.
Just don't look.
To be fair. Faces for
Pretty good.
radio, I think.
It's Jesus. Okay,
Isn't
speak for yourself. I have a high self-esteem. Thank you very much. No, it's been good. It's obviously been Wrapped season, which is always fun. Enjoy Wrapped quite
What
a lot.
is Wrapped season?
Spotify Wrapped.
Oh, yes.
You literally are a podcast producer. You should know this.
I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, it's nice. Like we obviously got tagged in a few like people who were in their top fives, which is
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool.
If you're listening and we weren't in your top five, then like also thanks for listening, but try harder.
Unless you listen on other platforms, in which case that's cool.
Yeah, if you listen,
Maybe we were in your Apple recap.
Is that what
That's
called?
one. I think
There's
so.
a YouTube one, but I don't know. Is it called YouTube Replay? Don't know. I only know Spotify because we make a big deal about it at work because it's fun, I guess.
Yeah.
I found out that
Office banter.
my rap from last year influenced someone I work with to have two bands in their rap this year, and I was like, "That's nice. I'm glad that I have such good taste."
What the power of music
Yeah,
brings everyone together.
Yeah,
I know
good.
someone
It's been
whose
nice
number one
to-
podcast is Super Scoreboard, and I think that's rogue as hell.
That
because
is quite rogue.
because I think Super Scoreboard, I didn't even know it was a podcast. I thought it was just like they recorded
A radio show.
the radio show and put it on, but it's not. It's only fun live, surely.
Yeah, and also just like trying to say this in a sensitive way. I feel like no one of our generation listens to Super Scoreboard.
I only listen to Super Scoreboard if Rangers lose.
Yeah, but
and I'm out and about.
Yeah.
So if I've left Celtic game and Rangers have lost, I'll put on Super Scoreboard because it's funny.
Yeah, but you are also a dad who sat at home in a shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. But I also have no doubt that's the only time I know any people I know who are Rangers fans. They'll listen if Rangers win and Celtic lose. They listen because you just listen for the
That's
rage.
fair.
So
Yeah, I do enjoy when bits of it get clipped up, but I don't think I could listen to it. I couldn't listen to an hour of it. I could listen to the 20-second clip when like someone's absolutely furious.
Get together, fellow Bears, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, maybe we should do a Super Scoreboard or trademark for women's football phone in. Yeah, that could be funny.
I mean, if people send us voice messages, we would probably platform them.
We would. That's true. But the only people who seem to get who do get raging though are Celtic women's fans. Everyone else, I think, feels quite measured. So
yeah, that's true. That's because every other team isn't.
it's a shambles.
Although 114-0. But someone somewhere is probably raging enough about Amy Richardson not getting any minutes or getting like 20 minutes against Dunfermline.
Someone somewhere, and it's you.
Yeah, it's me. It's Wales International.
Anyway, we can chat about that.
But we would, to be fair, the more raging the better. Apart from like there's a limit to that, probably.
Probably just get managers of teams phoning up, being like, "And did you see what the ref did?" And we'd have to.
I would, yeah, fully.
You'd like.
Let's get.
I'd platform anything. Is it more people talking apart from us two, the better? I would say. So.
Especially if it's like saying outrageous things that gets them fined by the SFA. That'd be really funny if that was our fault.
That would be good. We will not cover the fine. So.
Yeah, no. You chose to say it.
Yes.
But yeah, Wrapped was fun. I know your top artist will be boring as hell, so I'm going to ask you.
My top artist. Yeah, okay. I think it was Clairo. Just if anyone interested.
Someone else I work with's top song for the year was Lava Chicken. I thought it was really funny.
I have got the Happy song. Is in my top. Happy song. If any parents out there of young children, the Happy song is a scientifically proven song to calm down children. It works. I can't remember the artist's name, but it was like paid for by Pampers or something like that. It's good. Actually, it's a bit of a banger. It's better than the previous years when
you've changed.
I remember back in the day during like COVID when I would do like yoga online, they would send around Spotify playlists to listen to during this yoga online. And my number one song one year was like the Silent Song by someone, and it's like 5 minutes of just pure silence, um, intended for like shavasana at the end of yoga. So my number one song for a year was just a 5 minute silent track. Kind of threw me for a
I had a
loop.
lot of classical in mine in an unexpected way. Like I think they weren't in my top five. I think like Bach was like my sixth most listened to artist, and I was like, I'm not that smart. Like that makes me seem like a very different person to the person I actually am. But it's because I
Right.
just put it on like because I put classical playlists on. But because of the rise of AI music, I put on classical playlists that are actually classical music, as opposed to going on like chill classical for reading, because that's all just AI generated
Oh,
shit.
right. You actively
So I
search out classical.
so
Okay.
I find a playlist made by an actual person
You should
and put
get
that on, and it's
records,
full of like
get a vinyl player,
I
and
when me name me
go
move,
real
that's one of
off
my
grid.
like
So,
top purchases is going to be a vinyl player from because I'm going to go to Kinder Handel because they always have one because I think that's just nice. I think that's a nice vibe,
it's good
you know.
vibes.
This is the most south side this conversation's ever gotten. I think
No one listens. No one listens to albums all the way through anymore. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's quite good.
I listen to albums all the way through.
Of course you do. Yeah.
I don't like
Back summer
not
session or
like
whatever the fuck it's called all the way through. So,
that's where it really pops off is like Mozart's like first EP banger.
anyway, we should talk about football.
Talk about football. Yeah.
That's what the people who are in our Spotify wraps come for. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they come for this bit. Almost tempted to not talk football one week and see what happens.
Well, I know your pal listens to this bit and then
Yeah,
switches off, which I
yeah,
find so funny because like just get into women's football.
yeah.
Like,
Right.
you know what I mean,
Come on, it's not that hard. Yeah, I thought we were making it quite inviting, but clearly,
it's only an extra like 30 minutes. Like, ensure like the concept of listening to the first 10 minutes of a podcast to me is just so bizarre because like when I put a podcast on, it's because I've got like I'm doing the dishes or I'm hoovering. And I know I'm going to be doing one task for like an
for an
hour,
hour. Yeah, see how the
so
podcast
I'm
on.
like I'll stick on a
Yeah.
podcast and listen to Honor and the gang talk about the WSL or
Mm-hmm.
Ian Wright talk about
WSL.
Carrickety Cross. Basically, that's it. Yeah,
Or
that's it.
someone else talk about WSL.
Um,
Yeah, but we're the only ones you can get who talk about the SWPL every week, except for the weeks when we don't, because we're not doing it. But when we're doing it, we're doing it. You know what I mean?
and we're also not the only ones anymore because PLZ don't know.
Oh yeah,
I
shout
think
out PLC. They did it last year.
so.
There's also
Well, they've changed. They've
the sideline and stuff as
changed.
well, but I don't know if they're weekly still.
They're not weekly because they're all interviews, which take a significantly amount longer than what we
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Um,
a bit
as I
more
know from
produced.
our
Yeah,
written pieces,
so
which is why our written pieces aren't podcasts. Because I would have to edit an hour-long conversation, and that would be stressful.
hard. Yes,
Um,
valid.
especially if
But
like the time I interviewed Shannon Lynn and her like she'd just given birth, her partner just given birth.
there's a baby
She had a
anyway.
very young child,
Yeah,
like a month-old child. So
feel
it
like could have
was
postponed that
obviously
interview. So
loud. Nah, she was fine with it.
fair enough. Well, anyway, there's been
She didn't tell me, so it's
fair
not my
enough.
fault.
Well, there's been lots that's happened the past couple of weeks. Scotland played 2 games, won both games. Friendlies against China and another team, Morocco.
Super convincing in front of no fans.
Yeah.
Um,
So that was
no,
good. Rhea McInerney scored. Called up and scored. That was
she
cool.
did score.
Big up.
Um,
So
yeah,
that was probably my
I
favorite bit.
I'm very underwhelmed by those games. What I'm overwhelmed? Yeah, what I'm overwhelmed
Whelmed.
by is the Scotland under 19s who had a really good break um, and beat a bunch of teams that they wouldn't be expected to beat necessarily on paper. I do find it a little bit odd because obviously, like some
Good
of
thing
the
they play on
Scottish
grass.
players playing, I don't know. But some of the Scottish players that play like for the under 19s, it's a little bit like like what's Laura Berry doing here? Um, she plays every week in the SWPL. Maybe doesn't or shouldn't play youth football. But they progressed in whatever competition that was. If you give me half a second, in the Women's Euro Under-19 qualifying round 1. So I presume they go to qualifying round 2,
Round 2. You would think, right?
I guess. But in a group with Norway, Netherlands, and Croatia, Scotland finished second, only on goal difference, which is like obviously huge, a really impressive
Mm-hmm.
sort of like statement, I guess, for the future
Mm-hmm.
of the country, which is nice. It's nice to know that, even if the senior national team are being a little bit not so great, but at
Yeah.
least the
There
kids
are.
are doing well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough.
as I,
Another other
I
news, I
find
think.
it odd because like what was I say? I find it odd because Jess Husband, Erin Husband, Ashley Robertson, Laura Berry, Sophia Martin, like the squad
Yeah,
is full of players playing every
maybe
week
should
in the top
maybe
division,
should maybe
which
should have won the group.
maybe I feel like Norway are obviously going to be really good. Um, but I feel like a lot of them could maybe be playing under 23 football, and a lot of the under 23s could maybe be playing senior football, and a lot of senior players could just not be playing international football.
Yeah,
But
that's
you know, is what it is.
a valid point.
Mel Andreas has decided to stick with this weird 3-5-2 that doesn't work.
Yeah,
And like you could say, oh, we won, but I mean, we were kind of
but at what cost?
dominated quite heavily.
But at what
Hmm?
cost? But at what cost?
Yeah, in front of. I say it's bizarre because it was in Spain. I think that doesn't help. It's
I
hard
feel
to
like my jokes
analyze
are
because like
flying right by you today, and you're not.
just
We're
I'm
not
just
on
gonna.
this.
Yeah, it's been
Start
too
talking about
long. We've not
Scotland, and you
spoken
got.
in so long
Mm-hmm.
because you don't reply to my messages anymore
I'm a busy man.
because you're too busy.
Yeah.
You've got a better friend now. Just ridiculous. She's known you for like 6 months.
Yeah, that's true. She's funnier than you, though. I'll tell you.
It was
So,
it wasn't 2 wins anyway. It was Ukraine and China, and it was a draw and a win. Just
oh,
to correct you from earlier, where
sorry.
you said it was Morocco.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't know
Um,
what we play Morocco at some point in the World Cup coming up.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
in the men's
in
World Cup.
October.
I did, brother. Frazzled. But what I
Yeah,
did not frazzle about, what actually happened the past week, finally, your man from Motherwell, his name's Paul Brownlee, was announced ages ago. He's now, I think, done his final game as Motherwell manager, and now taking on his role at Celtic youth lead man. Anyway, don't know the full job title, something like that. In charge of the youth academy.
pretty sure it doesn't say Celtic youth lead man on his
Yes, probably not. Could
like
do.
contract. It
Could
probably
do.
says. I think is he not the manager of Celtic's next gen academy?
I think it might
Is
be
that
that a coordinator or anyway. Point being, Motherwell
Hmm.
need a new manager. Also, in recent news, Ian Robinson from Queens
Unrelated
Park.
recent
Yeah,
news
unrelated. Ian
for
Robinson.
sure.
Ian Robinson and his assistant manager, whose last name's also Brownlee, um,
Hmm.
have been
I did Google
approached.
it. I don't think they're related.
No, I don't think they are, but they have been approached by an unnamed club. Presumably a club without a manager. And presumably in Scotland. I wonder
Hmm.
who. I wonder who.
It's all
So,
one option. There are a few clubs in the League of Ireland that need a manager.
so
Um,
I
I
like Ian
feel like that's
Robinson, to be
highly
fair.
unlikely, but
Ian Robinson's won me
I
over,
think
so
it's a weird
maybe
move.
he's getting the Scotland job. Could be anything. Could be anything. But it's probably the Motherwell job, and I reckon by the time this has been published, he'll have the Motherwell job. So keep an
Yeah,
eye out for that, I
I
would
feel
say.
I feel like it's an odd move for both for him and
For,
Motherwell, kind
in
of.
what way?
Just like, well, I feel like at Queens Park he's got a team that very easily could get promoted this season, whereas Motherwell are in a relegation battle
Yep.
and like not looking great.
I'm not sure they're in a relegation battle. They were
But
sixth.
also,
And they are
they're
sixth.
they're seventh, I think, behind Montrose. But still, like
That's
he's got a
correct for
very
the
real chance
record.
of getting promoted with Queens Park, and obviously Queens Park have fewer resources than Motherwell.
Yes.
But from Motherwell's perspective, they want to come sixth again, and they're hiring the guy that came last season.
Yes, but I would say Ian Robinson has like a style of play. Like he's
I get it,
like
like
one of the
from yeah, I get
he's
it
like
from
one of
like
those
that
like
perspective.
coaches with a footballing vision, I suppose, and they want to implement that.
I get it. I think his Queens Park team are really good. Partly, I think it's because I would like to see his Queens Park this Queen's Park team like mature. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because it
I get
feels like
that.
he's at sort of like the early stages of building something there, and then it's just like he's just going to go to Motherwell. And like as I say, I understand it from the perspective of the Motherwell job's full time and significantly more resources at Motherwell than
Mhm.
at Queen's Park, likely for the long term as well, considering
Mhm.
Queen's Park's situation as a football club and how they're going to sell Lesser Hampden apparently.
Two Celtic, Glasgow City, and Rangers. You see that?
No, to the Scottish FA, who would then
Who would then?
use it as a training base and turn it into a stadium for
For
the three Glasgow women's teams,
this won't go away.
which would be bad. But that's a separate conversation.
Yes. Anyway, on
Um,
Ian Robinson. Yeah.
but that's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, but if they do that, it's likely that they then return to the pre-professional for him as a coach of the women's team. Um, so I get that. I just I feel like there's momentum at Queen's Park currently because of the fact they're in the second tier, and what they're doing is quite interesting, and I want that to continue. Whereas at Motherwell, he's kind of obviously he's got the winter break, so that'll help if he is appointed at Motherwell. But it's very much like if they don't get going quickly, like you say they're not in a relegation battle, but it's not. The playoff spot is
They're only
ninth, and behind them
they're only
are
they're
you
4 points off that, but it's
yeah.
not. I don't think it's.
But Aberdeen are currently in it, aren't they? So like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like Aberdeen and Partick Thistle are some teams that are going to be easy to keep away from.
No, that's true.
You know,
That's true.
and I would say that for Motherwell, the aim is obviously sixth, and then the aim after that is to start progressing against the top teams. That is a job that I feel like is quite hard to do if you're just walking in with a summer with a winter break
Hmm.
worth of time.
Yes, I would agree. But unless I guess they're probably thinking longer term,
Mhm.
and Ian
But I
Robinson is
also
a
thought that Motherwell would have gotten someone higher profile. Not to say that this isn't like that's not a criticism of Ian Robinson. I just mean like someone like
yeah.
a higher profile within the women's game in terms of maybe has worked. Kind of like Scott Booth,
So yeah,
basically.
somebody's
I
been around
thought
the
they would
block
do what
before.
Aberdeen did with Scott Booth,
You should have done.
where it's sort of like a recognised name,
Yeah.
partly for that short term bit of like needing someone to come in with a bit of clout to
Yes.
get them
On the
back into
yeah
the top half because
yeah
it should be really poor. Like Motherwell should be looking at it and going, Montrose are ahead of us. That's kind of ridiculous.
yes. Well, I would say on
And
the
Montrose deserve to be, but
like I
just on
guess
paper.
I'm not sure how I feel about this appointment to be fair, but I would say probably lean towards pro it. I guess on the kind of pro side of it, I guess there is a point that Motherwell won't get relegated this year,
Hmm.
and they should be able to catch Montrose with the players they have. And I think they would have caught Montrose anyway. You bring Ian Robinson in, if he's it, and he has quite a set style of play that you saw him do at Queen's Park pretty well. It didn't really
Yeah,
well,
and it's quite similar to what they've been doing as well. Like it's not
yeah.
like it's worlds
But if
away.
they see a young,
Um.
exciting coach in Ian Robinson who they feel they can almost pin the future of the women's team on for the next 5 years, they don't get relegated this year because they're not going to. They probably could even still get top
Mhm.
six of that. They then get the summer. He then does it from next year. And then a strong position with a set coach, young, exciting coach, progressing forward, and then over the next.
Definitely.
Assuming they have a strategy, this is me giving them maybe too much benefit of the doubt. But if they have a 5 year strategy, Ian Robinson is a really great signing for the beginning of that 5 year strategy.
Mhm. Oh
As
no,
an
definitely.
example.
I
So
think it's. I'm more excited for that than I am for other coaching appointments. Partly just because it is from within the SWPL.
yeah.
Like it's someone that knows the women's game and understands it in Scotland specifically. I just fear it's too soon. I guess it's probably the main thing. Because I agree with you. I do really like Ian Robertson. I really like his Queens Park team. I like how he's been using Rosa McQuillan, for example. Like it's been really interesting in terms of how they attack teams in the SWPL too. I just feel yeah. I thought it was gonna be somebody yeah with a bit like I thought it was gonna be like a sort of like a statusy appointment
yeah, I can see that
for
because of
Motherwell.
you're following on from someone like Paul Brownlee, who's been there for a long time, very like
Mm,
a kind of figure within Scottish women's football. To follow that, you maybe need someone with the same level as of Don't know the word for that, but like the same presence, I suppose.
Yeah.
But on the flip, maybe you've got Ian Robinson who comes in and has our play and sets that, and the players buy into that, and you've got a young manager to take you forward for the next however many years. So what we'll do, Matt,
Yeah.
is we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's how it goes usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. At least it's if that is what happens, then it'll be interesting to see how that affects January as well, because obviously Queens Park have a lot of good young players. And
You're now
Motherwell,
all going to be Motherwell players.
yeah, and we've seen it in the past where
Yeah.
that's what happens. They take a few players with them. It'll be interesting to see what Motherwell do for the rest of the season. Whoever, if it's not, even if it's not Ian Robinson, whoever it is, because I feel like it's been a weird season for them. I feel,
Yeah, definitely.
but I think part of that is because of Montrose being so good, and I don't think that was something that was anticipated by anyone. Because
No,
I
I agree
think
with that.
if
Yeah.
you at the start of the season, we would have been speaking about Aberdeen, who have obviously been described by other managers in the league as full time. They're not
Yeah,
full
but
time in the way that Hibs and stuff are full time, but they're
mhm.
definitely moving forwards in terms of how often they train and how much they put into the women's team. Part of Thistle, who obviously have been up and around there for a long time, and then
Yeah,
Motherwell. And I don't think we really would have
no,
looked
it's a
so
bit shit.
much at Montrose, but
That's true. You're probably right. A bit weird because if Montrose hadn't had such a strong start of the season, Motherwell are sixth, and then no one's asking any questions, I suppose. But I guess because Montrose are in sixth,
yeah.
it flags up
And
question
the
marks more.
Motherwell also probably quite clear sixth as well at that point because of how
Yeah,
disappointing Aberdeen and
they
Park
do have
Thistle
been.
have been.
Yeah.
So you end up with a situation where it's like, if Paul Brownlee decides to step away in that scenario, which I think he probably still would have, you end up in a situation where, oh, okay, like we can make a sort of riskier appointment,
Yeah, because Riss
and
is clear
it's
in sixth.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah, because whatever happens at the end of the season, we're going to have success in fact of coming top six. I
Six.
think
Yeah.
that's the thing that worries me basically is that with such a short period to like implement any kind of system change, whoever gets appointed now has to sort of turn it on immediately because the bottom four probably aren't going to be split by that many points, and because second bottom is relegation playoff, and I just feel like it's such a chaotic thing to go into that, and SWPL 2 we know is stronger than like a lot of people think, and as we're
Yeah.
going to speak about the East Fife game, is going to play a part,
Yeah.
form and morale. And if you fall into that relegation playoff spot and you're coming up against a team in good form, good morale, I fear for the team that end up in that spot, even if it's Aberdeen, with so many more resources than whoever they're playing. Just from the perspective of like, it's hard to get yourself up. But yeah, if it's Ian Robinson, good luck. I like the communication. I like that we're being like,
No, we know what's happening. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
imagine that tweet came out because Queens Park are maybe not very happy about it, about the approach.
Yeah.
But I like that it's like it should be communicated to fans. Fans deserve to know,
Yeah.
if their manager is potentially leaving, and it's sort of where the hierarchy and where the food chain of women's football is at in Scotland in terms of managers and players. Like,
If
there are some teams that are full time, some teams are part time, some teams are completely amateur.
to do they
There's
could do a
always
high
going to
IQ,
be
they could do the high IQ move. Both Paul Brownlee and Ian Robinson do the Craig for Oz. I'm not leaving, and then go on the ridiculous run and achieve their respective successes. Craig
the
Frost
only way to
playbook.
beat Killy.
Yeah, literally. Well, Craig Frost has now got his team top six, so it clearly works. Just fake retirement. Happy days. Or
Well, he
fake
wasn't
leaving, I
retiring; he was
guess.
just going to quit.
Yeah, fake leaving.
But yeah,
Happy days. Yeah, but it's also
yeah.
the. Yeah.
I feel like Paul Brownlee can't walk away from this.
I feel like
At this
he's pretty
point.
signed in now, yeah. I would agree.
Yeah, I think
But
legally, I think he'd have some issues, but
yes,
yeah, I get the sentiment. I think it'd be funny.
yes. But yeah, so I guess what happened this week as well, main footballing stuff, was the Scottish Cup. A lot of big results in there as always in the early rounds. Celtic 14-0 against Don't forget part-time Dunfermline.
Not amateur Dunfermline.
Not amateur, whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the only game to chat about is this mad Bonyrigg Rose v East Fife game. You first see it 8-3 after extra time. What the hell happened there?
Yeah.
Watch the highlights. 20 minutes of highlights. Which, first of all,
and also full live tweets as well
I'm fun, yeah.
from Bonyrigg.
But it's coming from Bonyrigg Rose, who are what, fourth tier team? Third tier?
They're third. They're currently fifth in the championship, which
Listen.
also makes it more bonkers because they're not even in. They're obviously in the race for promotion because the race for promotion is basically the entire top six, but
Yes.
they're not like in title contention really.
Mm-hmm.
You know
And
what I
it,
mean? This
not
isn't
too
like a
different a
team that
team
are.
that East Fife would have steamrolled last year when they ran
Yeah,
away to the
exactly.
title. So the lowly total was crazy. But it was 8-3. It was 3-3 at full time. Some really good goals, some not so good goals.
It's a crazy,
So
it's a crazy performance. Yeah, obviously it was 2-0 to East Fife in like the first 20 minutes. You're like,
yeah,
okay, fine.
that was that.
The
Yeah.
keeper started screaming at one of our defenders at one point, and I was like, that's not looking good. Especially because it wasn't the defender's fault. But they bring that back to 2-2, and then I feel like East Fife maybe just sort of like they've been on the end of some difficult results, and I think that maybe
Mm-hmm.
crept into their heads a wee bit. Yeah, it's just um, nuts. It's really nuts. Just a bizarre thing to happen. When I saw the result, I sort of like my brain refused to believe that after extra time bit
Yeah, I was like,
because I was
in my
like,
head, I was like, how does this work after each time?
yeah,
What was the score
um,
beforehand? But obviously, yeah, it was mad. A couple
to
last minute
to get it
blocks
out
as
of the
well
way.
in the from both teams.
I was going to
I'm
say
calling them blocks.
to
I'm
get it
calling
out
them
of the
blocks.
way, to be uncharitable, and as a proud Fifer, East Fife should have had a penalty in the last minute, like Stonewall,
Bonyrigg Rose
potentially
could have had a
red
penalty
card.
just before that though.
Was that not
They
just
could have.
after?
No, it was just before. Bonyrigg Rose had one where they threw in goal. Or there's a ball over the top
Well,
and it's
I'm not from
bouncing.
Bonyrigg, so I don't.
But it was
But yeah,
funny. And
like,
then she gets cleared out, and I guess on the angle you
mm,
can't really see what happens. And then the ball goes out for a goal kick. Apparently, a goal kick. How could it be a goal
yeah,
kick but not a penalty? Do you know what I mean? And then
mm.
there's the East Fife one where again through a goal. The East Fife one's a bit
You
more clear cut because
you can't say, yeah.
it was more
I
one
was
on
gonna
one and more
say
space, and she just gets wiped out.
you
Um,
you can't go, oh, from the angle you can't quite tell. On these five one you can tell.
my
She's looking at the ball.
my favorite thing, as
Um,
soon as the tackle, I don't know, you would have heard it on the highlight. Go listen to the highlights if you haven't seen them,
mm,
and you'll see that what we're talking about. She gets wiped out from the side, and she might get the ball. I don't think she does, but she might. But immediately from the sidelines, the manager is shouting, "Great tackle! Great tackle!" And, it wasn't a great tackle. Maybe it's a better angle when she got the ball. It was pretty wiped out.
I I feel the one on the East Fife one. I feel like she didn't even slide in the direction of the ball. Um, personally, I think what was going through her head is very similar to what would have gone through my head in that moment of, I can't get the ball here. I'm just going to take her out and take you know, the 18% chance that penalty is saved
That
using
goes to
XG to figure that
your
out.
XG percentage stats run through your head at all times. Yeah,
It's no, I just know that the penalty is 0.82. So, do you not a thing that you just know? You need to write more analytical articles, my friend. But yeah, so that was fun. And then Pointerigg's fourth from Kaya McGurk is also just
that's a mental
ridiculous.
goal. Actually,
Like,
yeah, chest it
um,
down on the
I think
turn.
she gets it from like throw in. Like,
Yeah,
it's not even like it's a good situation to receive the ball in.
spins one player and then
Holds
yeah,
off
Zoe.
two,
Yeah,
yeah, holds off two, skips past one, and then just sort of like, I don't want to describe it as chips it over the keeper because she doesn't really chip it, but like kind of like lifts it into
yeah,
the top
lifts it in
corner,
the top bins. Yeah, it's a very nice goal.
near post, and it's just like, what the hell? And then from there, it was just like, yeah, I think this is what I mean by like heads dropping in the relegation playoff. I think East Fife maybe they've been on the end of a lot of bad results.
Yeah,
They've
and plus you
already
just
picked themselves up to get back to 3-3,
yeah, and then you
and
go
then
down, and then it's
that
you've played
happens, and
100
I
minutes of
feel like
football
they
as
just,
well, and then yeah,
yeah, I feel like they just were like, okay, you
yeah,
know,
well,
it's what it is. And then Bonyrigg
yeah.
are obviously in good form
Mm-hmm.
on a high from even getting to extra time is a
Mm-hmm.
is a pretty big upset. And then just sort of ran away with it. I did check because I was like, did the East Fife keeper come off or something? Because like that wouldn't have shocked me because people
Mm-hmm.
have work commitments sometimes, and wasn't even that. And like there were some really good saves in the game, like from both
Yeah.
keepers. Yeah, it just seemed to completely fall away
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah,
for
it
East
was.
Fife, which happens, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world for them. Staying up is more important, I think, than a cup run for them
Yeah, I would agree.
and Stirling Uni,
Yeah.
who obviously did get through, but will be looking at it and going Spartans or Hearts.
Yeah. We'll find out who plays a game with
They'd
Spartans.
rather beat Spartans in the league, I feel. Like
Mm-hmm.
if Spartans managed to beat Hearts, which would also be an upset. That game postponed because of a leak. So
A water leak and not like a rat.
yeah, no,
You know?
obviously. Oh, I thought you were gonna say like the vegetable.
There's
Not
three,
that.
yeah, triple entendre. Yeah.
Yeah, no, a leak as in
So,
like a water main burst. I think in the like main building
all right, fair enough.
at the Spartan Stadium. So like not a building that is super necessary, but it is where the changing rooms are,
All right,
which probably isn't ideal.
seems like a convenient excuse.
So, I mean, is it a convenient excuse or is it bad because now the game's going to get played in
Yeah,
a place that's probably worse for them to like
probably yes.
play?
Wait, there was the whole other round of games. So you can see all the results in the Scottish Cup Instagram account. Some of the standout ones I mentioned that still to be done from 14-0, playing their first team, so that was good for them.
Yeah, Elena Ziku will then also complain about her players being tired next game and
Yes,
also about her youth players not having enough experience. And
yes,
it's
I'm sure
like,
she will. Dara Dawson started
maybe
though,
play them.
so there you go.
Yeah, great.
So I think
So,
other,
so I think Sienna McGoldrick did as well. So to be fair
mm-hmm.
to her, she played two players.
But they're not youth players;
Um,
they're squad players now, so that doesn't count.
yeah, I know, but
So the
like,
other
yeah,
other
play your
noticeable
kind of not.
Montrose v Hamilton 2-1. That's quite maybe an interesting one. Hamilton
Mm-hmm.
did all right there. Um, Sterling being Ayr 5-2. Are Ayr up there in the championship? I don't actually know. But just potentially for
I
if
don't know.
Sterling.
I only checked where Bonyrigg Rose were because I was wanting to. I literally only wanted to talk about this game. I messaged you and I was like, I don't want to talk about anything else.
That's fair.
I
But
want
like
to talk
if
about this
Sterling just
specific game because of how
yeah.
nuts it is.
But Sterling one in particular, if they were to end up in that playoff spot, being Ayr United 5-2 could be a good bit of a thing for them. Queen's Park beating St Johnstone 9-0.
Yeah.
It's mad. Rangers 8-0 against Renfrew Ladies. Thistle Livingston 2-0. But yeah, so some big results. City beat Motherwell 3-0 and Hibs beat Triborough 7-0. Edinburgh Derby.
Jess Ramsey scored her first goal,
Did you really? That's good.
which is nice. With her first touch as well, which is also cool. Assisted by Rachel Boyle, which I think Rachel Boyle, if you're listening, just skip ahead 15 seconds. I think it's the oldest player in the squad assisting the youngest player in the squad, which is cool. But
Is it
like, I
the
don't think
is
Rachel
it
Boyle
the
would want me highlighting that.
is it the widest age difference in assist ever? Maybe. That's crazy. She's not
I mean,
that old or
I
that
doubt
young.
ever because Rachel
Yeah.
Boyle's not that old.
No. In
She's
fact,
only
Joe Love kicking
33.
about probably. Joe Love playing Thistle last year probably or this
Yeah.
year.
There was actually, on that note, there was a really, really interesting piece from A View from the Terrace with Joe Love and the Rangers centre back that's on loan / might have signed permanently. I can't remember now because their birthdays are on the same day. So Joe Love turned 30 and she turned 18, and it was really nice. And Joe Love
Mm-hmm.
talking about like how she never wants to retire and stuff, and it was just
That's
quite
nice.
emotional. So like, prepare yourself for it. I would like say why, but yeah, go check that out. It's quite cool.
Fair enough. Well, yeah.
But
Then
yeah,
following that, I
and
guess you had
also a first. I was just say there was a first Rangers goal as well for Saoirse Coyle Morrow. I want to say is her name. I think. I want to say it's her name. I don't know if it's her name for like
It seems like
certain
you're looking at
because
her
I think
name.
she's like 15.
Oh,
I'm
right, okay.
finding it. Yeah, Saoirse Coyle Morrow, who's like 15 or something stupid like that. She's like
Mad.
a child.
Another good,
I
another
mean,
good
basically
Rangers
all
youth
of Rangers
prospect
players are
coming through. So,
children. But yeah, like just crazy. Like,
a child.
you know what I mean? Where have you gotten another one from?
Yeah, the youth
Seems a bit
academy
unfair.
that they invested and actively use.
Mm. Although, gotta give credit where credit's due. Maycroft is a Hamilton Accies youth product.
Yes, fair point, fair point. But yeah, then I guess there
Something
was
that I've been told to highlight.
yes, fair enough. This is what I mean. Get in our DMs and you'll get your points across. Don't worry. Yeah, there is the fourth round draw as well from the cup after those games. I guess the standout one's Hibs Celtic, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun when that comes
is it?
around.
Why have they done that?
Rigged draw, I say. Rigged.
I'm also on that note. I am also quite excited for part of Thistle, Barmer Thistle, the Thistle Derby.
Thistle. Yeah. That'll be good.
Not just because it's fun that they're both called Thistle, but also because I feel like Barmer Thistle are kind of similar to what part of Thistle do in the SWPL one. In terms of like,
it's a shame that we won't have three Thistles though in the fifth round.
Yeah. Yes.
That'd be fun.
There's
three Thistles right now in the fourth round, but not in the.
Yeah. No, I get you. What I was saying is, I feel like Birmingham Thistle are quite well organised and hard to beat, and work really well with the resources that they've got. Compared to, obviously, they're not minnows in SWPL 2, because I know some SWPL 2 managers might be listening to this being like, "What do you mean they've got more money than me?" But like, compared to some of the budgets around them, they get a lot more out of their squad a lot of the time, and I think they've got a really good identity of doing that, which is similar to Part of Thistle. But also they're meeting at an interesting point because Part of Thistle are kind of in a bit of a flux state, especially only beating Livingston 2-0.
Yeah,
like they could be got at, which is always nice, and especially if Birmingham Thistle are looking at the league table and going, yeah, Kilmarnock are probably uncatchable at this point.
Yeah,
a cup run is valuable financially, but also just generally it could be a fun thing for them to have.
It could be good.
We all love a cup run.
We do. Yeah, well, I mean, that's. I don't know if anything else happened this week to chat about other than those games, but that's kind of it. Scottish Cup, great competition.
The Guardian 100 has been released. If you want to get really angry about how low some Scottish players are rated, and the fact that they included players from like the Dubai League, the Saudi League, sorry, which like, okay, so Kathy McGovern then should be like the 80th best player in the world because
she is.
They couldn't hang in the SWPL, but
no.
The key highlight was, I think, Aaron Cuthbert was 69th, I think. Wahey, and Kim Little was 52nd, I think. I can't remember now. And Chloe Kelly was 11th, which made me furious.
If I hear Chloe Kelly's name one more time, man, I'm going to jump out a window. What the fuck? Scored a penalty one time. One penalty one time. Missed it, actually. She even missed it.
She's a great impact sub. Like, it's bonkers. Listen. She is not as good as Kirsty Hansen, and I will fight any Arsenal fan that tries to disagree with me on that.
I agree with that. On that note, that's a great place to end, I think. Kirsty Hansen, number 1 on the list. Yeah. Anything else happening on the Substack or anything soon?
Not soon. I'm working on something at the moment, but I am currently contacting people. Keep an eye on your DMs if you're an SWPL player, I guess.
Yeah.
And if anyone from Aberdeen is listening to this, I did reach out to Aberdeen and got pied.
Savage.
Email me back.
Well, because they're not doing very well in the league. I bet if Aberdeen were top 6, they replied to you. I bet you.
But also it's the 10th of December, so I wouldn't expect anything before Christmas. I would say. The next thing probably will be January sometime about transfers, either reviewing transfers that have happened in January or picking out some players that or picking out some positions that teams need. And then maybe if Celtic lose the Old Firm in I think it's in February.
When Celtic lose the Old Firm in February.
Then I'll probably do an article about like a bit of a tactical look at what is going on, why they can't win big games. But
No reason.
yeah,
It's all this tight games, Matt. Nothing you can do about it. But look out for that. Look, so much stuff on How's Your Touch for you to watch and listen and read and like and share and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, because we like to do it and we like to keep giving stuff. And if you just keep doing stuff like that, then we can keep doing things like this, which is cool. But yeah, that'll do it for this week.
I think also, I was just going to say, I think this is the last week you can order from our merch store for Christmas delivery. I think.
Oh, don't forget. Good Christmas presents.
Worthwhile mentioning, I have been forgetting to highlight free post days and such, so we've been getting a lot of emails I've just kind of been ignoring. You can get, if you order from Friday the 12th to midnight on Sunday the 14th, and you spend over £25, you'll get a free Lucky Dip pair of bamboo socks if you use code SOCKY at checkout. So SOCKY.
Happy days, SOCKY.
Is an email I just got. So if you really, really like bamboo socks,
good stocking filler to go along with your vest
and the SWPL.
Yeah.
Well, the vest
Have we got a prize for you? Yeah. There we go.
A jumper or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all the profits obviously just go directly straight back out to people to help us create more content. So
keep supporting.
You're not lining,
Fat
you're not feeding
pockets.
your child or.
Yeah, you definitely feeding her. I'm not even feeding her right now.
Especially because it goes to my PayPal.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, it is a good Christmas present, especially if you're not a Hibs fan, because there's a really cool Hibs Champions design.
Yeah. Awesome.
Because Hibs won the league, if you forgot.
Not win this league, though. Not winning it this year. But yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up there, though, because that's getting sad. I've been Peter. That's been Matt. How's Your Touch podcast? Make sure you're following us everywhere. And if we're on your Wrapped, let us know. See you next week.